do you have any idea behind the Gordon clan's Blue Gordon tartan? One side of my family are Gordons, and I know the clan Tartans, she says pretty well, except for Gordon Blue. I can't find much information online, so I thought I'd ask you guys. Thanks.
Gordon Blue is a little bit of a weird one. I knew that Loch Carron, as far as stock supporting, Loch Carron was the only mill that offered Gordon Blue as a tartan offering. And I was like, I've never researched it. So I have notes. I'm prepared.
Ta-da.
I looked it up at the Tartan Register. I just searched on Gordon, went through the whole thing, and there is no Gordon Blue in the register. The tartan that I think it's essentially the same thing, but they're missing Loch Carron is missing the two black guards on the yellow stripe, is called Robert Gordon University. So it is a Gordon-esque, we'll call it.
Gordon-esque.
Gordon-esque. I'm going to read you the notes, and there's a reason why, so stick with me. Designed by Mike King of Philip King Kilt Makers in Aberdeen, in July 2007, a photograph of the tartan was sent in for identification, the tartan having been bought many years ago in Langholm from the Edinburgh Wool Mill as a scarf. That photo is clearly of this tartan, which could place in doubt its current attribution. I'm going to point something out. This is kind of a living, breathing, evolving thing. So the tartan is recorded in the register. It is not Gordon Blue in the register as Loch Carron calls it, but it is, what's next to call it again? Robert Gordon University. Now, in fairness to the Scottish Tartan Register, it was actually recorded back in 97, so that would have been the STA, the Scottish Tartans Authority, as well as the Scottish World Tartan Register. And it's one of those where there's no clear, easy to point to origin of it. There are some things that are kind of, they come in a weird way where it's not, I don't even really know where I'm going with it. It's not exactly what it's called, but it ends up being called something or kind of loosely lumped into a clan. And it's just the evolution of it, and it speaks to the misty origins, if you will, of many of the tartans, and the effort after the fact through TICA, through the STA, through the SDWR, to kind of catalog the things that are out there and for posterity and for going forward. We talked about this briefly. What were the other things we talked about?
Yeah, I think basically your main reaction earlier was that there's a propensity for people to come up with new tartans for commercial reasons to slap a clan name on them for whatever reason. Either they think the design looks similar to an existing clan tartan, or they think that they can borrow some cachet by using a clan name. That's the main thing I remember from our discussion.
Yeah, it's one of those where the tartans exist now, or plaids, or generic, or universal, whatever you want to call them, fashion tartans, if you will. Mm-hmm. And some companies will come out with it and don't want to register it, but the Tartan Register's job is to kind of find those, and has historically been, to find those and catalog them for, time immemorial.
Right.
Now, the issue that I personally take with it is in a company using a clan name and then associating that with a tartan that they've just kind of made up. One example I'll give is the Hamilton Grey. It's tartan that's generally woven in Pakistan, and this isn't bashing Pakistan, it's bashing the process, where somebody said, okay, we have to give it a name. What do we call this? So instead of calling it's the Hamilton Grey tartan, as it is shown, which unfortunately we don't have a picture here, we'll put one in later here. The Hamilton Grey is a black and gray tartan that is generally woven in Pakistan, and they just gave it that name. There's no real rhyme or reason. It kind of has the Hamilton sett, but it's not the Hamilton tartan. It's not been officially blessed by the clan chief of Clan Hamilton, but it is a tartan that now exists, and it's been given the name Hamilton, but it's not a real Hamilton tartan. This is where I have a problem. If you call it, Grey Spirit of Scotland, or the Grey Spirit or Misty Scottish Isle or something, and you want to have a marketing name and attribute a marketing type Scottish feel name to it, that's fine. Marketing exists, and we have our own tartans that we market. You know, the sterling tartan, which is, you know, silver color, silver shades kind of thing. So that's fine, that exists, but there's a more honorable way to do it than trying to lump it onto a clan name that's existing, that it has nothing to do with that particular clan name. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I get the impression that a lot of time they are trying to start with a known set as the basis of their inspiration, and they change it, and they keep changing it, and they change it so much that, like, the Gordon Blue one, I wouldn't recognize as Gordon if I saw it anywhere. You know? I mean, so it's I think probably to give them the benefit of the doubt, I think a lot of time they are starting with some clan tartan they like the look of, and then tweaking it. And there's an old tradition of people tweaking older tartans to create new tartans, and those sometimes have become clan tartans in the past.
Everything is Black Watch.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's just that it's I mean, just once once you've separated it by like 5 or 6 or a million degrees, you gotta give it a different name.
Yeah,
I agree.
Exactly. There's honoring an existing tartan and tweaking it, and then putting the name into, you know, kind of, you know, as a nod towards the name or in the explanation of the tartan. That's fine, but just utilizing the clan name seemingly for no other reason other than marketing purposes, or just to give it a name, it does a disservice. It cheapens, it waters down the heritage. It waters down the Hamilton tartans that exist, because that isn't really a Hamilton tartan. The same kind of thing, and I'll beat up, you know, Loch Karen a little bit, and I don't know the full backstory of it, but it's one of those where it's like, why it's not a real officially blessed Gordon tartan, so I'm confused why it exists. As I said, Loch Karen's the only mill that carries it, so I don't know. It's a weird one.
It's a nice looking tartan. It's not really exciting, but it's, you know, the color palette is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I don't know where the name on the registry came from. I mean, university implies that it came from some school or something, or maybe the scarf that the photograph was taken of came from a university. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like,
or maybe Philip King designed it for, or Michael King, whoever it was, designed it for the university, or used it from the university, or registered it because he was a scarf that somebody bought at the university at some point. There may be a non-nefarious reason why it was recorded as such. Why Loch Karen doesn't sell it as that, but they sell it as Gordon Blue, don't know.
Well, I could guess. If they called it university, people might think it was associated with a school, and they wouldn't want that association.
Fair point.
They'd be afraid, oh, well, I'm not from that school, I guess I can't really buy that.
Yeah, but why would they weave it then?
Because it looks nice.
It's not their usual MO, though.
Okay. Well, so, call them up and ask.
I will.
I mean, the exception is that sometimes through wanton usage, as you put it, sometimes an oddball tartan will wind up becoming a de facto official tartan, right?
Yeah. It can exist. Like the Irish tartans, the Irish national tartan, there's, you know, some of the Welsh ones. It's through wanton usage, WONT, want and usage. Something becomes official. The military tartans, you know, the U.S. Army, U.S. Navy, U.S. Marines, Coast Guard, you know, Air Force, all of them. Those tartans exist, and none of them are official. But because they are used, and people use it as a symbol of their, you know, service to the, you know, to the armed forces, they've kind of over time become unofficially official. There's no like second Air Force tartan or second Army tartan. It's just the Army tartan, and those in the Army know what it looks like if you want to wear a kilt.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
Indeed. I think that answers the question.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is, was it Ellie? Ellie, if you really love that tartan and you want to wear it, there's no reason not to. I would just be circumspect about telling people it's a clan tartan, which I think you're already on that page. So,
well, I think she would be safe as an individual. Calling it Gordon Blue, because that's what Loch Karen calls it. So I'd say this is the Gordon Blue tartan if someone asked me. But it is not an officially recognized one, which I think she was sort of trying to get at.
Yeah, she's trying to do the right thing, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. So, interesting one. Very good random weirdo tartan.
Good conversation
Good
starter.
thought. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, thanks for joining us for this video. If you enjoyed it, please let us know in the comments, and be sure to check out our other stuff. If you're looking for more Celtic community and kilted community, you can follow us on Facebook, and more importantly, you can check out the Kilts and Culture Facebook group, where you will find hundreds of other guys who are exploring this stuff and enjoying it and sharing what they're doing. We hope to see you there. Take care.